I want to talk about something that kind of, how do I approach this? I would consider myself somebody who has somebody who has exerted a fuck ton of energy into things that are very irrelevant and things that have not been my responsibility. This is kind of what happens when you're an empath and you learn to be highly attuned to people's emotions. Usually, this happens very early on in your life because of what you're exposed to, like things that are happening in your life and everything. Um, but it's interesting because I hear people say like, "Oh, this person got the best of me." You know, decades ago, this person got the best of me. I wish I didn't waste my energy on them. I wish I didn't spend my energy on them. And you know, they're like now all I can give people is crap because I am crap. And like I look at that and it's like I was actually just talking to my sweetheart about this. Um, I don't remember how long ago it was. Maybe a few days ago. But I don't agree with that. And here's why. I don't agree that somebody 10 years ago in your life got the best of you. Here's why. And it's very simple. It's actually not likely that they got the best of you, or that someone got the best of you, or you gave your best to someone at this point in your life. Because at that point in your life, you were an unrefined and undefined person who was likely living in a place of survival and made choices in lack. There's a good chance that if you're in regret regarding the time that you've given to people, there's a good chance that it's because you are an empath and because you feel the need to be taking care of people. That's what empaths do. That's kind of what empaths seek in terms of safety. Um, but yeah, I don't believe or agree with the idea that people from your past got the best of you, because that wasn't the best of you. That wasn't. You might feel like absolute shit now, but that wasn't the best of you. Or there we go. The the past version of you was not the best of you. There's only potential moving forward, and if you can recognize that, like yeah, okay, they may have hurt you. Okay, wonderful. So now look at that and be like, all right, these people gave me this type of insight, and now I know what not to do. I know what to do and what not to do. And that's where the whole here's the thing that I think is very interesting. Um, my psychologist told me in one session, this was months ago, this may have actually been last year. He told me, he was like, I am constantly and he was talking about himself. He was like, I am constantly in a process of refinement. Every single little thing I'm tweaking. And so like, if you can look at it and be like, all right, well, here, I think that these people I think that these people from the past got the best of me, or this person got the best of me. Um, Likely not. What you were providing was likely a trauma response, and the way that you interacted with them, they provided something that it just the way that things go together. It's interesting. And no, somebody from your past could not have gotten the best of you. Because it doesn't matter who you were back then. What matters is who you can be. And who you can be is who you can be will always have the potential to be better than who you were. It does not matter who it was. It doesn't matter how good you were. We are evolutionary creatures. We have this like innate capacity to always become better. That's just it, there's no other way around it. And like however you decide to look at it, that's literally just the way that it is. So I feel like this idea that people from your past or someone from your past got the best of you, I feel like it's a bullshit idea because it's not accurate at all. It's in no way, shape, or form accurate. And when you look at it clearly, it's like, okay, you were this person back then, right? Now, say for instance, you were 20, right? And now you're 30, or now you're 35, right? And you're living with, I don't know, experiences and feelings of depression, anxiety, and all that stuff, and you're just feeding from the past. Oh, I wish I never met I wish I never met that person. I wish I never met those people. They sucked the fucking life out of me. Okay, well, cool. That's great because now you know now you know who not to give your energy to. Wonderful. You didn't know that before. You're better now. See, you see what I'm saying? You have examples of how people are with you and who to and who not to give your energy to. That's just facts. That's just the way that it is. And you can't look at that any other way. At least I don't believe you can. So take that example, right? That's just one example. Who you were back then, who you were before all the pain and everything, was somebody who couldn't see clearly, right? Because if you did see clearly, you would actually see your worth. And if you saw your worth, you would see that your worth was not worth giving to people that didn't deserve it, right? So therefore, you actually didn't see something. So that was actually a limitation on behalf of your potential, right? And the reason why this is so important to grasp is because a lot of people are stuck inside of this darkness, this depression, these ideas of themselves, this anxiety that their life will never get better. Your life has never been better. It doesn't matter how fucking shitty you feel. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter what you feel. Your feelings, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, your emotions, everything is trying to tell you something. But where you are right now, you might look back at like 10 years ago and be like, oh, but I had all these friends. Did you really have all these friends? Did you? Like, were they actually friends? Yeah, I was doing this, that, and the other. Were you really into it though? It's literally, I believe, it's not possible for people in your past to have gotten the best of you. Because that wasn't the best version of you. And the best version of you is also not 10 years from now. And I like this too because Matthew McConaughey, he was giving a speech and he was talking about how he had this mentor who was like trying to push him to be like, Matthew, who's your hero? And Matthew McConaughey responded, it's me in 10 years, right? 10 years went by. The guy asked him the same question again. Hey, Matt, who's your hero? Is it you? And he's like, no, not at all. I'm not even close to my hero. So that's my hero is 10 more years from now. So this idea that we can always be striving for better. Who you were when you were 20, you may have felt some things. You may have felt like you were alive and everything. You may have felt this and that. Maybe you felt like you didn't have as much responsibility. Maybe you have a hard time with responsibility, right? So you may have had these different elements in your life of freedom, of, carefreeness, if that's even a word. But there's no way in hell that was the best version of you. No, there's not one single person on the face of this planet that can get the best version of you if you're not the best version of yourself. Or, there's not one single person on the face of this planet that can get the best of you if you're not the best that you can be. That's just the way that it is. And so, like me, I have spent a lot of time around people. I have exerted a fuck ton of energy into people and things that were not my responsibility and were completely irrelevant. But I'm grateful that I learned about people. Like, I know now exactly who to and who not to give my energy to. And I can't say that the people that got my energy back then got the best of me, because they didn't. They got an unrefined and an undefined version of me. They got someone who didn't know their worth, and so out of people pleasing and codependency, fear of being abandoned and everything, they did whatever for the people. That's not the best version of you. If there's any aspect that spells best version, or getting the best of you, all I can think of are standards, very high standards, boundaries, being present with people, your ability to be blunt, like openly honest and transparent and everything. That shit's fucking cool. All this bullshit people pleasing and codependency is fucking lame. And if you feel like you had people in your life, there's a good chance that they were there because you can do stuff for them, right? Not for who you are as a person. There's no way that people from your past got the best of you. You might feel like it based on the way that you experienced life back then because of many different circumstances kind of like mixing and influencing each other. But there's no way that anyone got the best version of you. The best version of you puts you first. The best of you puts you first. The only way that anyone can get the best of you is if you've already given yourself to you first. But you have to give yourself to yourself first. So this idea of, someone getting the best of you, especially back then, like if you go like 20 years down the line, right? And then something happens where, like you're like, oh, well, I've gone through all this growth, all this development and all this wonderful stuff. And fuck, I just had a terrible experience where I just kind of like reenacted 10 years ago what I was like, okay, that's fine. You're learning. Great. Pain is there to teach you. I don't know if there will ever be like a best of you or like a best version of you. As long as you're always striving and growing and expanding, that's what matters. But I can tell you right now, this mindset, this idea, this belief that people from your past got the best of you, not a fucking shot. No way. No way. Not even remotely close to being possible. The only way that they could have gotten the best of you is if you were your best back then, and you weren't. I can tell you that right now. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you were, what you were doing, who you were with. Nope. That was most definitely not the best of you. But I can tell you what right now. If you wake up every day and realize that you're nothing but potential and you can just create new moving forward, you'll start to feel really fucking good about yourself. Responsibility and accountability are massive. They lead to profound happiness.